Forget everything you knew about Omega Strikers. It's a whole new game. Odyssey has done a complete overhaul pretty much from top to bottom, and we're going to walk you through it on launch day. It is worth noting, this is all based on the last playtest, so we apologize if anything is different on launch day. Now without further ado, let's dive in. First things first, the win condition in ranked is no longer first to 5 goals wins. Now we have sets. First to 3 goals wins that set. First team to win 3 sets wins the game. So ranked games are now best of 5 sets. This is big. The games are longer now. What used to be 5 to 10 minute games are now more like 15 to 25 minute games. This will definitely take some getting used to, but at least this means no more endless back and forth overtime games in which you have to win by 2 goals. They've changed up the pick ban phase. Instead of picking who you wanted to ban without even seeing what your other teammates play, it's now split up into 3 phases. First, you have the pre-pick phase, where you show who you intend to play. Second, you all select who you want to ban. It seems to pick majority rules over random now, which is a nice change. Lastly, you pick the striker you want to play. During all this, you get to pick your gear and awakening. What are awakenings, you ask? Well, throw out trainings. They're gone, buried deep in the abyss. Now that you've forgotten about them, they're still in the game, but they're now called awakenings. Instead of making training pages and picking between them, you now get to choose between 4 role-specific choices for gear. There are 2 different gear sets to choose from depending on if you're playing goalie or forward. During pick ban phase, you get to select your gear and your first awakening. Awakenings are essentially trainings, but now they are randomly selected to appear. You get your choice between 2 before the match starts, then you get to draft one after each set is over. How does the draft work? The MVP from the set gets the first pick. Then it goes back and forth between each team until everyone has drafted something. You get 8 randomly assigned awakenings to choose out of a pool of 34. During the draft phase, only one person can get each of the first 7 options, but everyone has the option to draft the last option, as signified from the infinity symbol here. Most of the awakenings are just tweaked versions of the old trainings. However, there are some new options. Drafting awakenings allows you to not only draft awakenings that you want. If you have higher pick order, you can deny a great awakening away from the enemy. You can take a better look at the awakenings on our website, where we have each and every awakening along with the description of what each one does. We've got goal gates. Now instead of the gates opening as the match starts, you need to hit the goal gates to open the goal and get the chance at scoring a goal. This can become a challenge, as you can just ignore your larger goal to protect the smaller goal gates. Some maps have 1, some have 2. But as long as they aren't all hit, your goal won't open. Everyone is significantly slower. If you're used to the move speed from the open beta, prepare to feel like you're running through molasses. You have a few options to increase your speed, either through the gear options before each match, or by drafting awakenings between rounds. Odyssey has really put an emphasis on the player's movement abilities now. Era's speed boost is going to be specifically huge. We're predicting she will be pick or ban until the first changes come into play. You don't get your ultimate abilities right away anymore. You need to hit level 2 before you're able to ult now. This changes up the early game quite a bit for most strikers. For example, most of the brawl heavy strikers have quite a bit less kill pressure without their ults. The more finesse goal scoring strikers will have 1 fewer ability to secure goals, and most goalies will be more vulnerable to being scored on without having their ult. Orb gathering will be mightily important early in games, as it will be the most reliable way to get to level 2. Next, we have the core flip. You have a bar that fills up as you land hits. This bar is segmented into 3 parts. If you use the ability with anything less than a full bar, which is bound to Q or E by default, you will instead use one segment to go elusive. You become temporarily untargetable. This can be very useful if you are about to die and just need some invincibility frames to stay alive. If you use your ability with a full bar, you slightly knock back and stun any enemies around you, as well as flip the core up into the air, briefly giving you sole control of it. If you strike the core while it is in this state, your strike will be empowered and the core will fly in your targeted direction like a bat out of hell. Whether you want to set yourself up for a big flashy shot on goal, or if you're a goalie that is getting dogpiled on and need to clear your goal in a pinch, core flipping will allow for game-changing highlight reel plays. Death timers have been increased. A lot. In the November 17th beta patch, Odyssey increased death timers from 7 to 8 seconds, which was a significant change, but now they're at 14 seconds. If you get knocked out, you're down a player for double the amount it was in beta. That is mind-boggling. Maybe 10 seconds, sure, but 14 seconds is overkill. We've had this in the bag to upload on launch day, so hopefully we're completely wrong and the death timers are at a reasonable duration. We understand they want kills to be rewarding and deaths to be more punishing, but a 14-second death timer is super excessive. Most importantly, the biggest thing you need to remember is to have fun. It's a game after all. I know most of us low-key use video games as an escape, but your teammates are humans dealing with the same issues we all are. This concludes our PSA for this video. Anyways, that is also all from us today. We hope you've taken something away from this video. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more like this, give us a like, subscribe, and leave us a comment if you have anything you'd like us to cover. We are always open to new video ideas.